I say I'm knocking anybody out that come in here. I don't care. Whether it's to the body, what else? Whether it's to the head, you getting knocked out, son. Real talk. I'm about to be the face of this box system. Let's talk about this right here.
Right hook in that left hook. Puts him on stanky leg. Gets face first on the mat.
I don't even got too much to say. The fight done said it all. I don't got too much to say. Just know it's a different conversation.
Why does it sound personal between you two? Come on. I've been doing this a long time, kid. Let's go.
Africa.
Keyshawn Davis didn't hold back when he went off on Devin Haney during an Instagram live. Davis unleashed a wave of sharp words and criticism, making it clear that there's no love lost between the two fighters.
Talk about that. I got some more shit. Keep pulling out. Punch so hard. I punch hard, bro. I punch hard. I spit when I punch. Stop playing, son. Damn, I got so much. I gotta hang up. Just got to the crib. Stop playing, bro. Punch too hard.
In his first fight of the year, Davis delivered a stunning late-round stoppage victory over veteran contender Jermaine Ortiz at Madison Square Garden in New York City.
He made good on his promise of getting a knockout win in his debut at 140 to cement his status as a top player in the division. And I'm going to turn it over to Keyshawn.
Well, first things first, all glory to God. Jesus Christ for giving me this win. It's been a long time coming, man. From my last fight all the way to tonight, man. It was a lot of twists and turns and up and downs and nights where I just didn't even want to do this anymore, and y'all don't know the half of like how I even got here.
Davis shared that he had always wanted a matchup like this against a tough, challenging opponent, calling it an interesting and exciting fight.
Always dreamed to get like a 12-round knockout, like 12 round, like that was always my dream. So like to do it in an opponent like Jermaine Ortiz on my return in front of 20,000 fans. That's God, bro. That's God. I feel like he turned my whole career around. And now it's just continuing to keep trusting in him. You know, that he's gonna do even bigger things for me. And I'm here, man. I'm back and I'm better, just like I promised y'all. Also, I promised y'all a knockout and I got y'all that. And also, I want y'all to give me more credit. My last 3 opponents never been stopped before. Never been dropped before. Limos, Baranchik, now Jermaine, and I moved up in weight and stopped him. So it's like, bro, I'm real, bro. I'm for real. And put anybody in there in front of me, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna stop them. Put your money on it.
After the fight, Davis didn't just celebrate his win. He immediately turned his attention to the next big opportunity. Davis made it clear that if he faces Devin Haney, the fight will end in a knockout.
My question to you is, you called out Devin Haney. You talked the other day, and I told you what Mickey Bay said about Devin Haney and you fight. I talked with somebody that you might know from when you were younger, Coach Sean from Norfolk, Virginia. He told me, you know, when it come to fighting, Keyshawn Davis is just a mean little dude. Like, you can come, you want to box and do all that. He love to fight. Now, I asked you this about Mickey when it came to Devin Haney. Now that you're taking care of business, how does you and Devin Haney end? How does that fight go?
A knockout.
Say less.
Davis has made it clear in recent interviews that he doesn't intend to stay long at super lightweight and views the welterweight division, where Haney currently reigns as WBO champion, as his next major destination.
I beat Jermaine Ortiz, God willing. I'm going to go to 147 and I'm going to become a 147 champion. And then I'm going to defend it against somebody at 147.
Devin Haney? Who at 147? Is it Devin Haney?
Yeah.
Because that's a pound for pound brother right now. And we asked you, who's a fight that's going to put you on that pound for pound list? Devin Haney's at 147, right? And he got a belt. Now he is, yeah.
And you say you want 147? I mean, what we doing? What we talking about?
Names.
We talking about January 31st. I'm gonna look great, God willing, and in the future, we going big.
Keyshawn Davis has made it clear he's ready to face anyone, aiming straight for the top of the sport.
A superstar.
You asking that question. I felt like that's what it was. But go ahead.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, I'm ready to fight anybody. So I'm going for the stars. And I know Devin Haney is the same fighter from when he was at 35. He's the same fighter when he was at 40. Now he's at 40. So he ain't nothing changed. But his weight, you know what I'm saying? I will knock Devin Haney out. Guaranteed. You know, I just feel like, shouts out to Devin, though. You do your thing. Like, I have no problem against you, bro. But we talking business right now. I will knock Devin out for sure. For sure.
You don't think he's hitting a little harder at 47 than he was at 35 and 40, growing into that weight? That's a no.
It looked like it.
It looked like it.
It looks
to
like
us, Keyshawn.
To me.
Let's see how hard I hit January 30th.
When asked if he considers himself a big enough star for Devin Haney to want the fight, Keyshawn Davis confidently replied that he can sell the fight anywhere in the world. He emphasized that his talent, fan appeal, and recent performances make him a marketable and exciting opponent for any top-level fighter.
You're already a bright enough star that he'd be willing to take, because, you know, as a businessman, risk reward. You think you bring enough to the table that he'd want to take the fight? He would take the fight?
Hopefully, bro. I hope he would take the fight. In terms of answering your question, a bright enough star, he's already entertaining me on Twitter and social media and stuff like that. So I guess he sees some money potential in this fight right here. But what I would like to do is I would like to become champion, because that just speaks for itself. Once I come to the champion with the table, you can't play with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody know me. People know me. I can go to the UK and sell. Like, I can go anywhere and sell. My first main event, I sold 10,000 tickets. I sell, period. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's entertaining me, because I am a star. But when I come with that world title, whether I beat Dalton Smith or I go move up a weight and beat Lewis Crocker, once I come with them world titles, it's just a different story.
Keyshawn said Devin Haney has been heavily promoted by himself and his team, building hype beyond his actual in-ring accomplishments.
Do you believe maybe the entire boxing public was making Devin into something a lot bigger than he is?
I mean, Devin was doing that. Devin and his father, they was promoting Devin well. In terms of, you know, building his fights, who he was going to fight next to keep his name rolling, making things look like stuff that it isn't, and just saying things that's extraordinary. They was doing a great job promoting Devin, you know, and he was fighting and he was winning. So they was doing everything they could to make him out into the fighter he is today. And hats off to that too. You know, us as fighters nowadays, we got to promote our own selves. So they was doing what they was supposed to do. You know,
Devin Haney has responded to Keyshawn Davis's fiery call-out and made it clear he isn't backing away from the challenge. After Davis claimed he was ready to move up to 147 pounds to face him, Haney replied publicly, saying Davis is on the list and that they can get it on, showing he's open to making the fight happen. Haney's response reflects the confidence of a champion who has already proven himself at the highest level. He has also been seen sharpening his skills in camp with elite trainers and respected boxing minds, including figures like Freddie Roach, as he continues preparing for the toughest competition available. With both fighters talking boldly, the matchup is quickly becoming one of boxing's most talked about potential showdowns. Davis fired back confidently after Devin Haney acknowledged his call-out, insisting that if they ever stepped into the ring, he would knock Haney out. Davis doubled down on his belief that he's ready for elite competition, and repeatedly stated in interviews that he feels Haney doesn't have the power or defense to stop him, and that he'd finish the fight inside the distance. Davis has publicly declared that he sees himself stopping top fighters, and repeatedly mentions knockout victories as his goal against any opponent, including Haney.
I was gonna say, Devin said, let's do it. You know, I know he's dealing with some legal issues. I don't know what happened. He said he had to turn himself in, but I believe he tweeted like, Keyshawn, let's do it.
He said that?
Yeah, but he tweeted like something like that. Yeah.
Well, you know, Bill was in my DMs. We already was talking about it. before he even hit the media. So I know it's going to happen in 2026.
And you're good going straight to Devin in your first fight at 47?
If it make money.
But fighting with Devin might not be as easy for Keyshawn as he thinks. Tank Davis praised Devin Haney for being an exceptional fighter at just 17, highlighting his early talent and skill in the sport. However, Davis expressed concerns that Haney's current lifestyle, particularly his partying habits, has caused him to slow down and affected his focus in the ring. According to Davis, these distractions have likely impacted Haney's overall performance, suggesting that while Haney's talent remains undeniable, maintaining discipline and prioritizing training is critical for sustained success. Davis's remarks reflect both respect for Haney's abilities and a belief that lifestyle choices can influence a fighter's prime and long-term career trajectory.
That video of you and Devin Haney sparring, people were going crazy over it. He was just a teen when that happened. How do you feel like his boxing skills have improved since?
I think he was best on his game when he was that age. I think he was like 17. I wasn't that much older than him. I think we probably like 3 years older, apart. But I feel as though he slowed down. All that partying and drinking and stuff slowed him.
In the lead up to his fight against Jermaine Ortiz, Keyshawn Davis spoke about how training alongside Shakur Stevenson, one of the most skilled defensive boxers in the sport, positively influenced his preparation. Davis said that working with Stevenson, along with elite fighters like Terrence Crawford in camp, helped elevate his skills in areas such as ring IQ, timing, and defensive awareness. Although Stevenson wasn't directly in his Ortiz fight camp, Davis credited the time he spent sparring and trading ideas with Stevenson in past training environments for sharpening his overall game and preparing him to face high-level competition. Davis openly acknowledged that sparring with a boxer of Stevenson's caliber pushed him to raise his standards, giving him experience dealing with quick footwork, precision punching, and tactical adjustments, all of which contributed to his strong performance and 12th round stoppage win.
Like a full camp, maybe I haven't seen for a little while. How was that?
It was amazing, bro. Nothing but family in there. Training alongside fighters like Zay Quinn, Raymond Forward, Kelvin Davis, Keyshawn Davis. It was amazing, bro. And the rest of our families together. It's really our first time actually really being together like this. Like as far as both our families coming together. So it was definitely different, but it was amazing.
How is that like beneficial, right? Like having familiar faces, that good work, from Zaquan to Keyshawn. I'm sorry, obviously from Zaquan to Shakur. Like I'm sure you're in the ring sparring with these guys. What's that like? Maybe mentally kind of going into this fight as opposed to maybe not having that kind of same camp situation in other camps.
Well, for me, I'm a professional when it comes to me actually fighting in the ring. I'm gonna always make sure I do what I need to do to prepare to go into a fight. So like, just as far as like the energy, transferring from camp over to fight week, that part been amazing. But as far as me always getting prepared for a fight, nothing really changed.
In a recent interview with Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Davis was asked whether he would fight Shakur Stevenson now that both are in the 140 pounds vicinity. His answer has been consistently no. He doesn't see that fight happening. Multiple recent statements from Davis make it clear that, despite the obvious matchup on paper, he doesn't want to fight Stevenson under normal competitive circumstances. Davis has repeatedly pushed back against the question, saying that he and Shakur have already agreed they won't fight each other, and expressing frustration at how often he's asked about it. He's made it clear that the idea of them trading punches in the ring is something he doesn't envision, not now, and possibly not ever.
Be undeniable.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But the question about the big fight is a real one. Like, if you look at what you're now at 140 pounds, right? Yep. Shakur Stevenson, who you two are never going to fight. By the way, once upon a time, Kenny Norton and Joe Frazier had the same trainer, and they said they would never fight. But man, if it ever made sense, if they were the two guys left standing, they'd have had to. The Klitschko's never fought. They were brothers, right? Even when they ran the division. But if Shakur beats Teo, and he is favored to do so, he's the 140-pound champ. And if he stays there for a minute and that's your division, when the dust settles, if you two are the best dudes, what are you going to do?
Right.
I mean, I'm going to tell you like this, Max. Look, I'm 26 years old. I see the boxing landscape. I understand Shakur will be 140 champ, and that's my division. I feel like boxing is my division. I feel I can really do whatever I want to do, and I know what I want to do after I beat Jermaine. I want to go to 147. and get a 147 title.
Keyshawn Davis emphasized his plan to move up to 147 pounds and capture a world title, marking it as the next major step in his career. After his recent fight at 140 pounds against Jermaine Ortiz, he expressed confidence in his ability to compete with larger opponents, noting that his skill set, work ethic, and strategy will allow him to succeed across multiple weight classes. Davis framed this progression as a natural evolution, building on lessons learned from earlier challenges, including missed weight and time away from the ring. Toward the end of the interview, he reflected on his broader ambitions, asserting that his talent, charisma, and determination position him to become one of boxing's leading figures. Despite aiming for prominence, he stressed the importance of staying grounded, disciplined, and prayerful, highlighting that personal growth and spiritual focus are as crucial to his journey as athletic achievement. His mindset combines confidence with humility, signaling a focused, resilient path.
He loses a competitive fight.
Yeah,
I think that would be the most common answer is Shakur outpoints him in a very competitive fight.
Beats him.
What then? What then for you and Tao?
For the businessman, huh?
All right, cool. Since you worded it like that, I don't, because I won't go say that. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the future holds. I just know what I want to do, and I want to go to 147 and become a champion. Because I just feel like them guys just can't beat me from 140 to 147. And I just feel like, I'm a surprise the boxing world. I'm small. I just moved to 140, and I'm gonna be fighting guys naturally bigger than me, and I'm gonna be stopping them. I mean, knocking them out.
I remember.
And that's gonna be very entertaining.
Yeah, I remember when Floyd Mayweather told me when he was still 130 pounds that he wanted to fight Felix Trinidad. And at the time, that fight never...
Some fans are speculating that Keyshawn Davis might be avoiding a fight with Devin Haney and is primarily creating hype rather than committing to the matchup. In interviews, Davis has addressed these questions directly, saying that this fight has to make sense, emphasizing that any major fight in his career needs to align with his long-term goals and timing. Critics interpret this as a way to build interest and maintain leverage without taking unnecessary risks, suggesting that Davis is carefully controlling the narrative to maximize his opportunities. However, supporters note that Davis's comments reflect a strategic mindset rather than avoidance. By insisting that fights make sense, he shows awareness of career trajectory, negotiation dynamics, and the importance of preparation. His focus on discipline, growth, and professionalism indicates that he is serious about competing at the highest level when the circumstances are right.
Opinion on the whole situation that's currently going on between Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis. And when really looking at and assessing this situation, I'm just trying to figure out at the end of the day if Keyshawn Davis really wants the biggest fights in the sport of boxing, or does he just want the biggest headlines? After stopping Jermaine Ortiz Saturday night, Keyshawn Davis immediately calls out Devin Haney in the ring. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that's a real fight for the sport. A true chess match with Keyshawn Davis's elite timing, sharp and accurate punching, understanding the range, and solid defense being tested against Devin the Dream Haney, elite jab, quick feet, fast hands, championship pedigree, and, his high-level ring IQ. But then, hours later, he's on Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco's platform Nightcap, and now, within a few hours, he's saying that this fight has to make sense, shifting the conversation over to Lewis Crocker and talks with Eddie Hearn. And in my eyes, this is where the questions start. This isn't something that's even new either. When we look at Keyshawn Davis's past, he said he was going to fight Edwin De Los Santos and Abdullah Mason just to miss weight, not stay in the division at 135, and end up fighting neither, while Abdullah Mason goes on to beat Sam Noakes to take the title that was stripped from Keyshawn Davis. At some point, that stops feeling random and starts to feel like a pattern. Big call-outs, big buzz, then a pivot. And whether intentional or not, it makes me question how much Keyshawn truly wants these big fights. Because in boxing, at least from the fans' point of view, trust is built on consistency and, just as importantly, follow through. So, is Keyshawn Davis really wanting of the big fights, or is he merely a close?
Can Keyshawn Davis actually knock out Devin Haney if they step in the ring? Drop your predictions in the comments.